Picture an ancient civilization richer and more technologically advanced than any kingdom of its era. Now, imagine every physical trace of it being completely wiped off the map in a single day and night. This is the story of Atlantis. It originates from the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato, who first detailed the Lost Kingdom around 360 BCE. 2 millennia of mapping the seabed and dissecting ancient texts have failed to settle the debate. We're left with a persistent tension. Why does this single story still command such global attention? According to Plato, this vast island empire sat just beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the waterway we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. The capital city was an engineering marvel, built with perfect alternating rings of land and water. To navigate this, the Atlanteans constructed an intricate network of bridges and canals. They heavily fortified these inner rings with massive stone walls to secure their wealth. And at the very center of the city stood a magnificent temple dedicated to Poseidon. Its walls were coated in gold and a mysterious, highly prized metal known as orichalcum. So, we have an impregnable fortress, a society engineered flawlessly for defense and trade. How does an empire like that disappear without leaving a single brick behind? For generations, Atlantis dominated the known world. They mastered deep-sea navigation, scaled their agriculture, and built a military force that terrified neighboring states. But with extreme prosperity came extreme arrogance. The population grew accustomed to endless wealth, and the culture became increasingly greedy. Their leaders stopped defending their borders and started expanding them. Atlantis turned into an aggressive empire, violently subjugating the civilizations around them. The mathematical perfection of their city was intact, but the society living inside those rings was rapidly rotting from the inside out. In Plato's account, this moral collapse angers the gods. They decide the empire needs to be punished. The judgment is absolute. First, island-shattering earthquakes tear through the meticulously designed infrastructure. The tremors give way to devastating floods. Giant tsunamis sweep across the shattered stone walls, drowning the entire capital. Finally, the bedrock gives out entirely, pulling the massive landmass down into the dark, freezing abyss of the Atlantic. The total collapse takes exactly 1 day and 1 night. In 24 hours, the apex civilization of the ancient world is erased. Fast forward to the modern era. We have deployed satellite imagery and advanced sonar to map the seafloor, scouring the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, and even the coast of Antarctica. Yet underwater archaeology has repeatedly hit a wall. We have never found a single shred of definitive physical evidence proving those perfect concentric rings actually existed. Because of this, historians have looked for real-world disasters that might have inspired the myth. The leading candidate is the Minoan hypothesis. Around 1600 BCE, a highly advanced culture living on the island of Crete was decimated when a massive volcano erupted on nearby Thera. The resulting tsunamis wiped out coastal settlements. It is highly probable that survivors' tales of this sudden cataclysm filtered down through the centuries to Plato. But a volcano destroying a real island doesn't explain the hyper-specific mathematical details of Plato's Atlantis. The story feels designed. Scholars widely categorize Atlantis as a philosophical simulation, a thought experiment built by Plato to stress-test his ideas on governance and morality. Plato engineered the narrative as a direct warning to his contemporaries. It is a critique of imperialism, illustrating the inevitable doom of endless expansion and unchecked political power. The account serves as a final warning. No amount of technological advancement or wealth can preserve a civilization that has surrendered to its own greed.